Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Rye safety officials close Ocean Boulevard to all traffic. Safety officials in Rye are urging people to stay away from Ocean Boulevard after closing it down for the third time this weekend due to unsafe conditions. Officials say splash over and flooding from the high tide has created dangerous conditions, and dealing with onlookers will only complicate operations by local emergency personnel. Adding to the dangerous situation, the sea wall has suffered significant damage in at least 3 spots. This is a developing story. We will have more information as it becomes available into our newsroom. Governor Baker tours communities impacted by nor'easter. State of emergency still in effect. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker will be touring communities impacted by the powerful nor'easter that left hundreds of thousands in the dark and caused extensive damage along the coast. Baker declared a state of emergency Saturday in response to the initial damage caused by Friday's storm. A number of trees and utility poles fell across the state, knocking out power and closing roadways. High tide left coastal communities flooded heading into Saturday, but high tide around midday caused powerful waves to breach seawalls and caused even more damage and erosion. In Gloucester, sea water swamped the football field during high tide, turning it into an oversized swimming pool. Trees couldn't withstand the strong winds ripped through the region. In Salisbury, mounds of sand were swept away by the high tide, and homes along the beach were damaged. Residents were in shock by the sheer damage left by the March nor'easter. It was the same story on the South Shore as waterfront homes left the forceful waves pounding over the seawall in Situate. At one point Friday night, 100% of customers were without power in the community, and power likely won't be restored for much of the town until days after the flood waters recede. Hundreds of residents had to be rescued in Quincy over the weekend by the Massachusetts National Guard and Quincy police. Residents say their homes suffered some of the worst flooding in decades. As of 3:15 p.m. Sunday, MEMA reports over 155,000 customers are still without power. Like the January 4th storm, this storm was a bomb cycle, meaning that the pressure dropped at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. The storm killed at least 6 people, including a man who was crushed by a tree in Platon and was pronounced dead at the scene. A 77-year-old woman was struck by a branch outside her home near Baltimore. fallen trees also killed a man and a 6-year-old boy in a different part of Virginia, an 11-year-old boy in New York State, and a man in Newport, Rhode Island. Police driver faces DWI charge after car hits mailboxes, electric box, and a rock rolls over. 3 people are recovering and a man faces DWI charges after a car rolled over in Rochester, New Hampshire, police said. Police said they first received reports of a crash at the intersection of Old Dover and Tibbetts Road around 8:35 p.m. Saturday. According to police, 26-year-old Dakota Corin of Dover was driving south on Old Dover Road when the vehicle left the pavement and hit several mailboxes, an electric box, and a rock on the shoulder of the road. The rock caused the vehicle to spin and roll over, police said, before coming to a stop on the side of the road. Corin and 2 passengers, Albert and Jesse, were taken to Frisbee Memorial Hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries, officials said. Corin faces felony charge of driving while intoxicated, officials said. The crash remains under investigation. Kushner got to go if reports about quarterback are true, Senator Murray. A leading Democrat senator said Sunday that the White House senior advisor Jared Kushner needs to leave his post if recent reports are true, alleging the Trump son-in-law took a position on the certain Middle East political issues in response to his family's business interest. The Interpreter reported that Kushner's father, Charles Kushner, thought financial support from Qatar financial minister for the family's business 6666 Fifth Avenue property in New York City, but failed to get it. Weeks later, Jared Kushner backed diplomat moves, including a backguide by Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and other neighboring countries against Qatar, the Interpreter reported. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll have a news report later on this evening. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Goodbye.